All right, good morning, everybody. I'm just gonna check that stream is live. Patient with me. All right, so we are live, guys. Back this week. Unfortunately, my trade idea looks like it has been disrespected. So we did take some losses this week. I'm just gonna run through the basket real quick. We're looking for possible re-entries for next week, but right now I'm not seeing too many ideas just because structure has been broken on the higher time frame. So we're just waiting to see what the market is going to show us. NFP is today. Sorry, I misspoke last week saying that NFP was last Friday because I thought it was on the first Friday of the month. But so NFP is today. So we're going to be interested to see what the market shows us. So just to review, AUD/USD, we had this weekly trend line. It was broken. Now we've been bearish. Was thinking possibly we'd find some support here, but that support did not hold. And now we're continuing down. So we'd be looking to see if we could enter in for an opportunity to take it maybe back down to the demand, or just wait till it reaches demand and look for another setup. Because right now, this bearish trend, we still have this demand zone here that needs to be respected. So we'll be interested to see if this market continues to push down below this zone. We might wait for a break retest before moving lower, or taking the buys off the demand zone if price holds this bullish market structure on the higher time frame. So as you can see with this AUD Swiss franc, we actually broke below our higher time frame structure. So be interested to see if price is going to keep sinking lower. So we got to wait for that pullback retest. And that's AUD Swiss franc, GBP Swiss franc. This was honestly one of the more bullish setups. So this would be the most recent demand zone. Currently, we broke right below this structure point here, but that doesn't make us bearish yet. We still have a ways to go before we're truly bearish, but this could be an opportunity to enter for a short position down to this demand and possibly look for buy entries from this area up. Okay, so it looks like GP Swiss franc is showing basically just chopping around. It's like a consolidation zone. We have this demand zone here, supply. So we're in a range. Let me update my trend lines, even though this is probably not a pair I'm looking to trade right now. So that's that. All right, NZD/USD. Just gonna update this trend line. This one's similar to AUD/USD. We thought we found support, but it broke through. NZD/USD. Still got potentially bullish structure, but obviously this point didn't hold for a reversal. So it looks like we're still looking for more liquidity in the downside to see where we might possibly reverse from or continue. And then NZD Swiss franc, we gotta wait to see how this week closes, because this one is similar to, I think it's AUD Swiss franc. Which one was it? It looks like it's similar to AUD/USD in a way. All right, so now that we've gone through the watch list, I'm gonna look at some news articles, see what type of news we have this week. So let's see. All right, so SPX 500 showing resiliency among rising yields. There's a certain resiliency in the stock market. SPX has charted a higher trough followed by a higher peak. This is an uptrend. Stochastic is a momentum-based indicator. That that it has fallen through the 70 level denotes that the SPX has lost momentum. Data for February came in hotter than expected. This includes the 517,000 jobs that were created in January and sticky inflation. The US 10-year real rate has appreciated in response, and the short end of the curve has jumped in anticipation of either tighter monetary policy by the Fed. So you can see the 2-year, it's a little bit sharper than the 10-year, more bullish. However, given the increase in yield and its inherent effect on the time value of money of risk assets, SPX 500 has held up well. We are now looking to see if another higher trough will be charted in the series. This makes for confusing equity markets. One would think that the higher yields would have applied a greater pressure on present values than is currently being reflected. In terms of the time value of money equation, the numerator may be making the difference, i.e. the future value, whilst the required rate of return is applying a headwind. The market seems to be anticipating a higher future value, which is producing a counteracting tailwind. Of course, this type of thinking may be premature. Equity markets may have delayed their decline. However, in an inefficient market, one would have thought that the discounting would be well underway by now. The market needs a catalyst. Tomorrow's non-farm payroll is likely to cause volatility, especially given the blowout print from February's release. We also note that Tuesday sees inflation data, which has shown stickiness over the last month. If we see surprise to the upside, yields are likely to move upwards, applying more pressure on the SPX 500. However, prints that come in softer than expected may lead to that next higher trough in the index uptrend. So if bond yields drop a little bit, then we can expect SPX upside. So that's pretty much that. All right, so just to look at the news for next week, Friday, I guess they don't. Let's see. Okay, so um, you know what? I think I'm gonna go to my investing.com for the economic calendar. All right, so next week. So we have CPI news on Tuesday. That's important. OPEC monthly report. That's related to oil. Unemployment rate for GBP is coming out on Tuesday. Monday doesn't have too much. Just some AUD news. That's not too important. Wednesday we have okay. AUD unemployment rate is coming out on Wednesday. I don't see anything that I'll be interested to learn about per se. So we'll just see what happens on Thursday. Jobless claims would be nice to watch out for. ECB interest rate decision as well would be nice to watch out for. See, is there another interest rate coming out? Okay, CPI, Thursday, European interest rate. All right, so then Friday, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I don't see anything high impact, so we should be good to trade for next Friday. So, yeah, we're not trading today just because NFP. We'll just watch the market. And let me see. Let me see if I got any questions. All right, so let's go through our fundamental analysis. I probably will have to make these calls a little bit shorter. So instead of it being an hour, it might be closer to 30 or 45 minutes. So as I get better with my analysis, these calls will be shorter and shorter. Hopefully that'll be more enticing for people to want to follow it. So hold on, let me just skip these. I'm adding those. Just looking at the Australia 10-year. As you can see, we're still chopping around. So it's been very difficult to come up with a bias because of how it's moving. Um, this GBP 10-year still pushing up higher, but we pulled back. So that means that uh, bond yields are decreasing, which would be unfavorable for these currencies. So for this past week, that push down makes sense. As a pullback, possibly we could find support here and look for higher pricing. So we'll wait and we'll see if there might be a better opportunity to get into buy some of these risk on assets. But for now, it looks like the market sentiment is more of a risk off sentiment. Same thing with NZD 10-year yields. Looks like we're entering more of a risk off sentiment now. Okay, just look at the indexes real quick. Okay, so looked at the indices and let's look at the crypto market. So I had this idea on Bitcoin, but it's not looking valid anymore. So let's just update the chart. All right, so looks like we're pulling back down. Maybe we'll get discounted pricing for the buy up since we're already at the bottom of the market. I don't know if Bitcoin will see lower pricing than this. It's possible. Maybe we could target these lows, but with us right on top of this flip zone area, I was thinking that we'll possibly see some upside from here. Some of the fundamental articles I've been reading have been indicating a possible explosion in the crypto market, which would be unfavorable for the US dollar. So that's been the perspective I've been taking, but it's been a little bit of speculation on both sides as to whether the dollar will maintain its strength. So for now, the market is not really showing any clear signs of direction. Um, all right, so Ethereum looks like we're consolidating. We'll just target the lows to look for buy entries. Accumulate some orders since the price is low. Um, and then let's look at SPX. So SPX is breaking from this quarter point. So, we'll be looking to see where it falls. We have some areas of demand to look for entries for the buy position. But, we still have some room, even though indices don't traditionally sell for too long. So it's interesting to watch how the market is reacting with, all these talks of recession. And, hopefully the market does not go into a recession, but that would be, you know, um, interesting to see what happens to these indices like SPX, NAS 100, while the market is showing signs of recession. I'm going to get rid of my zones. I don't think I'll be using the zones anymore just because the trend lines are a little bit clearer than the zones. So just stick with the trend lines. All right, so we're looking for demand in this area. So right now we're high, but we do have this flip zone that we're settling on top of. So a buy trade from Nasdaq is definitely a possibility, but we just haven't got any confirmations for that yet. So we'll just have to watch the market and see what it does. Maybe when we see some momentum, we'll enter into the market. All right, so gold, get rid of my zone. For now, It looks like we do have some bullish momentum on gold, but uh, this is would be considered a higher low if this candle low gets broken. So for now, even though the setup does look pretty bullish, I think I'm gonna say no trade. It would be nice to see if we could possibly catch an entry today to the upside, just because this does look like a wick pullback, and for a price to have gone for this many days in a week without breaking this low, I think that this could be a significant sign of bullish continuation. So please be mindful of that, because we did get our signal of the trend line being broken. So we're waiting to see if we could draw another trend line and look for possible entries. All right, and then so XAU, XAG, sorry. So we broken below this demand zone, retested it as supply, moving down, looking for lower pricing. Ultimately, we still have a bullish bias, but we do have more areas to look for demand until we get a confirmation of what the directional bias is. So let me see if I got any questions. I don't see anything so far. All right, so guys, I'm just gonna run through the basket one more time, and then I think we'll end the call there. Uh, Please excuse the new, reduction of the overall time. We will be looking for entries next week, just not this week. So I'm gonna give us more time for the analysis. So AUD USD, we're currently in a bearish trend, looking for re-entries, possibly to the downside, being paying attention to our areas of potential demand. So AUD Swiss franc, we've broken clear through our demand, waiting to see if we can get structure to show us signs of continuation. All right, GBP USD, not showing too much signs of bearishness, but it's possible that we might get some bearishness down to this demand zone, where we'll watch how price reacts from there. GP Swiss franc, we're consolidating, so this looks more like a no trade than any trade at all. But it'd be nice to see if we could get a nice reaction from these lows. NZD USD starting a bearish trend down. We got a potential pullback to the trend line, so possibly we could be entering shorts for NZD USD and as well as AUD USD. But because we still have demand at the bottom, we'll see. I'll probably place a couple of demo trades just to be sure. And then same thing, NZD Swiss franc is looking similar to NU and AU. So of any trades I would be looking to enter, AU is the most bearish, and A Swiss is the most bearish, then AU, NU, NZD Swiss franc. GP USD, GP Swiss franc, they essentially look like no trades, just because the risk sentiment is off now. So we are looking to short the market and support the dollar bullishness. So I don't look at the dollar. I think the dollar confuses me more than it helps me. So I just use the other fundamental analysis with the understanding of how the market reacts to the dollar to help me with my bias. So my bias before was that the dollar was showing signs of weakness, so I was looking to buy the market and short the dollar. But now it's not really very clear. And we have news today, so it's not really looking ideal to take any setups. All my trades that I was in previously have been closed on the that I was doing for the educational alerts. So please tune back in next week. Any questions that you may have, please leave it in the comments. Check out my about section for more information about my page, Forex Free Club, and continue to watch out for trading view ideas slash analysis going from week to week. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you have a great morning and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye bye.